Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, as I am now. Even I can't remember my new website. And today we've just got a front panel gatefold card. But this is really about showcasing the new Memories and More range from Stampin' Up, because all of this has actually come from that, but I have coordinated with A Little Wild. So this is the stamp set I've used, which is designed, it has some coordinating framelits, and each stamp stamps both the front and the back of the animal, as you can see here. Let's just focus that. And then the dies cut out the two, but cut it into a tag. Or you can do as I'm going to do here, just use one of the images to actually stamp on a card. But this isn't DSP here, this is actually from the Memories and More card. So this is a new range here, Memories and More. It coordinates with all of these Stampin' Up products. And in here you have just loads of gorgeous cards, which you can use for memory keeping if you want. And there's some lovely stickers, but there's some foil overlays, some foiled cards. Or you can use them as I have, because there are some lovely patterns on here as well, to actually use to make some cards. So it really is about memories and more. So I've chosen a couple of images. So this was one I chose, and each one is reversed. So on the reverse of this it would have been blue, and likewise on the pattern you'll see here. So you get two of every one. So I thought I'd make a blue version of the card, but using one of the other cards with it as well. So let's pop these away. I mean, they are just very adorable. I mean, they obviously are baby themed, but some of them. But, you know, some of these actually could be used for sort of love themes and all sorts of others as well. But it just is another way for you to use up your stash. You know, sometimes you might perhaps make an album and then kind of go, what am I going to do? This is one of the ways you can actually use it. So the panel gatefold card is very straightforward, you've seen before, but we'll start off with the card itself. I'm going to be using, the coordinating card is Soft Sky in this one, and I've cut a piece which is 14.5 by 27 centimetres, which is 10.5 by 5 3/4 inches, and I'm just going to score that at 4.5, at 9, at 18 and 22.5, like so. And that's going to make our card base. And then I'm going to trim down this card here. So these cards are 3 by 4 inches. So that's sort of 7.5 by 10 centimetres. And I'm going to trim this front sentiment to 7.5 by 7.5. So it's already 7.5. So what I'm going to be doing is, because it's 10 centimetres, I'm just going to be trimming a little bit off the top and the bottom. So I'm going to take about 1 centimetre and 1.2 centimetres off the bottom, and then bring that to 7.5 here, like so. That's going to be our centre panel. I'll pop that to one side. I've cut a layer of Soft Sky to go around that. So I've trimmed that down to 2.5 by 2.5, so that layer there is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, or 8 by 8 centimetres, just to give that little border around. And then I'm going to trim one of these cards down to make our front panels. So the panels I'm going to cut are 3.5 by 13.5, so I'm just going to trim that to 13.5 and then cut 2 of these. So that's 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So those are my two panels, which I'm going to pop to one side. And you can always keep these scraps to make additional cards with as well. So now we're going to do our stuff construction. So we've got our card base here, and as always we're going to fold and burnish. At least we would, if I could find my scorer at my phone folder. Oh well, never mind, I'll have to do it by hand today. I had a busy day filming, so things I have tried to put away as I go along, but it doesn't always quite work. Okay, so there's our gatefold, fold back gatefold card. So we've then got 2 panels for either side on the front. So these panels are 4 by 14 centimetres, 1.5 by 5.5 inches. And I'm just going to adhere those to either side. Like so. And the card is very vanilla, so I've used very vanilla for my layers just to complement that. Go back to what I usually do, which is to put my DSP onto my panel first. And then I'm going to stamp it in the middle of this heart here with one of the sentiments in some smoky slate ink. So I've just mounted that on a block. I'm just going to stand up, so try and centre that. Great big welcome for a sweet little someone. So that's going to be our centre panel. And then I've now got a panel of Very Vanilla to go in the centre here, and this panel here is 8.5 by 14 centimetres, so that's 3.25 by 5.5 inches. And obviously you could layer that up if you wanted to, do something different, but I'm just going to stamp our elephant on here. Now if you only want to partial stamp, the thing to remember is to cover the stamp first. So we're going to cover that up. Then bring our ink pad to that, remove your post-it note, and then you can just pop. Okay. And there's our cute. Now the other one I coloured with the blender pen. I'm still experimenting with blender pens. I'm still like every crafter. We find things that work well for us and things that don't. So all I'm going to do is squeeze our smoky slate pad. Then I'm going to take some ink and I'm just going to get rid of a bit first. I find that it's sort of the best way seems to be to kind of just keep working a fairly fluid motion with this. And sort of keep reapplying fairly regularly. And obviously just remember where the light is coming from, and you can always go over that a little bit more just to blur those lines. And because I've stamped in the same colour, you're not going to get any bleeding of colour either. And then all I'm just going to do is with a very little bit underneath it, create a little bit of a shadow for the ground that our elephant is standing on. So that's perfect for you to write a message to the recipient. And now that I found my bone folder, it has reappeared. I can reinforce those creases. That's better to help that really stay in place. And As I say, particularly for fanciful cards, it is really important to get those good creases. And then all I'm going to do now is literally add this to the centre of our card. Preferably to the centre. And then we can add this onto the front. You're going to put put your adhesive on one half of the card only. I put plenty on. Fold your card up and then centre that panel. And there we have our second card. This one I'd actually cut slightly, only half a centimetre shorter, but there you go. Memories and More, not just for memory keeping, but can also be used to make some fantastic cards. Who knew? But really versatile, so I'd recommend it. If you want to buy any of the products you've seen today, visit my Stampin' Up store, heidismith.stampinup.net, or visit my blog, www.flutterbyheidi.co.uk, and follow the links there, or give me a call. Hope to see you again soon for another Sunday scoring. Bye now.